Get into this evening's live. Lots to talk about. We've got a lot to talk about here this evening. I'm glad to see a few of you already in chat. I see Showtime Chris welcoming and thanks for tuning in. I also see Dylan in the chat very early this evening already. Thank you so much for that. I greatly appreciate it. I'm glad to see that with the settings that I switched yesterday and redoing my tablet. Yes, it doesn't fit to the full screen for some reason, but at least you get most of it. With the new vertical settings on YouTube, we kind of have to deal with what we get right now because there's a little bug. So at least I've figured it out enough to where it still looks good sideways, so you can at least still get it somewhat in the horizontal. What we can see here right now, though, XRP, as we speak, we had a technical breakout. We knew we broke out of the pattern. We've also have a couple things that have played out now. Earlier, if you guys were around and you were able to see my update when my son was at his therapy, it was about 12 o'clock when I did the update. And whoops. I'll just show it real quick. YouTube. And all I did, it was simple. I put it in the video. I said XRP moved to 73 cents, coming bull flag target if holds. And I even drew it out on there, went through the nice update, and it actually played out 100% to where we were drawing it. And it's actually a good thing because it played out appropriately. Sorry, I need to go to the USDT chart so you can see where it could go beyond. So now the technical target out of this, I'm excited. Let me get through the intro first because I'm gonna have to get through the intro so we can timestamp this and so that we can see what's going to happen here, because we need to see if we're going to get the straight continuation. Like, I see a couple of them, like the bigger ones, like Ethereum and Bitcoin, especially with Ethereum, even though it's down like, it's down $90 today or something, $98, $100. We're going to see, this will be a big indicator of what the market's going to do next. If Ethereum and Bitcoin roll over, because right now Ethereum's got a little bit of an inverse head and shoulders set up here in the shorter time frames. So if it busts this to the downside, it doesn't play it true. If this doesn't play out flaggy, we could find ourselves coming down. So if you're watching this and you see Ethereum under like 3,200 and you start to see Bitcoin start slipping, because it feels like we still need to play out a little bit. I mean, they could be a little bit of ending parts of these patterns too, because we've been going so far and maybe we're exhausting ourselves. But Bitcoin looks like a bull flag still. It looks like it still needs to play out further. Like on the cup and handle target for Bitcoin, we're not even up to the technical target. All we've cleared out now is the handle targets. Now we actually have to go to the cup. The measurement from the cup, and that's way up there, about 120K. So I'm interested to see how this plays out. I'm very interested to see if this plays down. I took out a very small risk position on Ethereum in the copy trade only because I wanted to see how the setup played out, and I was going to do it, and I'm like, you know what? This would be a good time. We've experienced a lot of wins. This would be a $22 loss, and this is one of the more risky ones, but I lowered it to a 5x trade. The maximum risk for us as a community is like $22. And the potential here is if it broke out of here, we had an inverted hammer candle. And now, as long as we can hold this setup, I think I put my stop loss at 3,190 or 189, I think it was. But because I lowered it to a 5x, it's only like a $22 risk. So it'll make a small dent in our plus. It doesn't even matter. The point is I wanted to see if this would play out of here and come back up and at least double top here, or if we're going to start to build like this topping reversal, because it still looks like, if I look at this, even from like the onset, you can see an inverse head and shoulders setting up here, even if you just look at the overview of it. So I wanted to see it ride out. So basically how I said with XRP before, I'm playing it to exhaustion, and exhaustion to me is if it invalidates what looks like it should be, it could be an inverse head and shoulders setting up here. XRP is falling in line right now. It's doing exactly what it needs to do. It's broken out better than 40% as I predicted overall in the last couple of days. It even hit the move today perfectly. Happened rather quickly within a couple hours after the update I put out. And the market just feels like there's still a chance. I've got small leverage positions out, not with the copy trading, because I wouldn't put that much risk on the group. So you guys are dealing with the $22 risk. Me overall is about a $100 risk. Because not only do I have Ethereum, I bought IOTX when it was down like 10.5% on a 5x trade. I bought Algo when it was down 4.1% on a 5x trade. I bought VeChain when it was down 6.1% on a 5x trade. And I bought Zill when it was down 5.1%. All my stop losses, though, are about 4.2% down in pattern formation. So about a 20-something% risk per position, but I only took out $107 to $110 a piece per position. And that's how I like to do it. With Ethereum, I took out, I believe it's whatever was in the, because every time I get up over, I had to take out like $280-something because that's how much we were up in the copy trading. But I always keep it at 170. So I took everything out, and it's at like 170. I think I had it at 168. So that's what we're looking at. Now, some people are saying it's FOMO. Oh, yeah, it's definitely FOMO. That could. Now, this next layer would be the FOMO definitely kicking in. So I'm just trying to be, excuse me, transparent with what I've been doing. I had over, what is it, in totality during this move up, just from what you guys have seen us do and some of the positions we've had. Oh, and I forgot I do have a position as well, but it's a spot position. And it's the same deal. I've got it in AMP. I've got $2,100 in a spot position in AMP. And it's to play to exhaustion. If it breaks this 4,086, it's like, let's see, I can tell you the exact potential loss here I'm facing. I'm facing about $90 on AMP. And then between the futures trades, I'm facing about another 75. And then if you add on our copy trade, I'm looking at about $200 worth of risk here. Now, the reason I'm willing to take this risk is I've made over $3,700 on this push up already. And that's not counting none of my long hold positions. That's not counting. That's the swing trades I've made the last 3 days. And some of you have been part of it. So I put myself in a spot where I feel like this is a good time. Before I forget, B2 Gold, I sold at $3.32 and I had a targeted buy zone and I had to buy. Whether it continues to go down or not, I stay true to what I always say to myself. So I said I was going to buy it at 287. I initially had bought it at 291, but when it got rejected at 297, it just, you could tell gold was pulling through. Now I'm a little nervous about this M topping reversal, but the reason I like it here is because we have a massive inverse head and shoulder. I mean, when I say massive, it's a fucking, excuse me, it's massive. And once this plays out, and it will eventually, that's a huge inverse head and shoulders. So my goal was to buy it on the inverse right arm, and it's come down. Like I said, I sold it at $3.32 and I bought it back at $2.74. Right before the close. I had a change of heart right at the close, and I said, I don't care if it comes down more. I've already saved 22%. More than 20. Well, no, because I didn't sell it at $3.50. What the heck kind of false reporting is that? And all I'm trying to show here is I do more than just crypto. I own precious metals, but I understand market flows probably better than most. So right now, I could be buying it in and maybe it loses another 10% to come down a little bit, but it's not going to, I don't think it's going to break this integrity. I think we have an overzealous sell-off on earnings that didn't quite meet what the experts were saying. But if you look at revenue, it barely missed by $1 million. Surprise was the 62.59% miss on earnings. And they were still in the positive. It's just not even close to what they were expecting. But we knew this was coming with Newmont. That's why I sold all of my precious metals like Fortuna, First Majestic, and B2 Gold. When we seen what happened with Newmont, the world's largest miner, we knew something was going on. So I didn't think it was just an anomaly. And I also thought gold had to have a pretty big breakdown. So we'll see what happens here. And it's already had a nice breakdown here. So I just have a feeling with what's going on in the debt market, they're going to have to spice it up a little bit. But at this exact moment, very optimistic. Obviously, I think anybody who's been around the last 3 to 4 days, you've noticed the optimism. You've noticed me front running the market, telling you what's going to happen, and also taking out copy trading, the urgency of starting it. And now seeing that up like 200, we're up to 148% already in copy trading. It's incredible. But anyhow, that's the last you'll hear of that tonight. I'm getting off topic. Good evening. 6:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Tuesday, November 12th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So if my brother, my nephew Isaac, if you're watching, happy birthday. It's both their birthdays today on November 12th. So a good present for my brother, old Vincenzo. He owns XLM and XRP thanks to me, XRP. I convinced him over a number of years. And he holds a nice position in XLM. I think he has like 22,000 tokens. XRP somewhere got to be close to 10,000. So he got a great birthday present today with XLM up better than 20% today and XRP up better than 15%. A beautiful birthday present indeed. Donald Trump and Ripple meeting happened. They admitting it. Holy hell. That would be huge. That would be huge. That would be big. I mean, like I said in the title, I don't think we're done, not even by a long shot. That's why I always say, you know, don't take for granted the accumulation phase. I've been saying this for how long, folks? 2 years? Because when it's over, it's over. And doesn't this feel different than when we went to 94 cents in one shot? Notice how we went up 12% at first, came down 9%, everybody made fun of us. Then we went up 25, 30%, came back down 17%, everybody made fun of us. Oh, it touched 70, but now it's back at 61. Now we touched 73, backtracks to like 70. Now we're back to 72. We're doing it exactly like we need to do it. Make sure to hit that like button too, please. I'm only going to look at it once here for a while, but I noticed 39 likes and 133 people watching. I don't know what I have to do to get you to hit the like button. I've literally predicted this market 100% on target. So if there's ever been a time to see some generosity, since someone's hitting the like button, I'll say it. If there's ever a time for generosity with YouTube super chats, maybe seeing a new member of Tom's Army, definitely hitting that like button and sharing the content, this would be the day. We're up better than 40% on XRP in a matter of days. We're targeting another 30+% moved over 90 cents if this reaches its totality point. Well, if it reaches the threshold within the rising channel it's in. Now, there's one or two things that could happen. One, we continue to run unabated, and that's why I'm watching. And sometimes I force myself into a position I wouldn't normally do. Yes, we've made about 30 or 35% on other Ethereum positions and lost like, I don't know, 7 or 8% on one of them. But I usually will take this position on either Ethereum or Bitcoin when the market cycle's at its, let's just put it this way. We're at an inflection point right now. And right now we have to have a due diligence. So I always do it. Now, for me, Ethereum is going to tell us everything we need to know about the market right now. So my inflection point is I have a $22 risk on Ethereum. And if it breaks it, I know something's going on a little bit. Maybe not with XRP immediately because I still expect it to do its thing a little bit. But just because Bitcoin would be done does not mean that Ethereum should be done. So if Ethereum starts topping out, Ethereum to me is kind of like an A1 altcoin. It's not necessarily an altcoin, but it's kind of like the way a Solana and some of the bigger market cap ones work outside of XRP right now. But eventually XRP will be in the same spot. So, oh yeah, 3 a.m. was beautiful. Yeah, 3 a.m. I set my alarm for 3:30 and it was a beautiful time to watch. It was unbelievable the way it was moving. And then I fell back to sleep, and by the time I woke up, the market, had done its correction. But I want to see, Ethereum really is going to tell me a lot. It's really going to tell me a lot. And like you see the setup here, and it almost looked like a fake out to the downside. Looks like a bull flag setup here, small one. We'll just see if it plays out. It ended up pulling this into more of a bullish candle here. Honestly, that ended up saving that candle so far. So we'll see if it pulls down or if it pulls it up. But that's a big inflection point for me because if that ends up being an M-top in reversal, we might have a chance here at a correctionary phase. But It keeps me excited when I look at the market. All of it does. Like when I look at all of it, like I always have it burning through my head, like what's happening. Like when I seen what H-bar did, I thought it was a good omen. I really did. I thought it was a good omen for some of the ones that had these M topping reversals for me. Because look it had this M, right, pulled down, and then it started pulling up and shot out. Now, if you start looking at some of these other ones, we've started this M, or these topping. Now, is it going to shoot out like that? Is ZIL going to do the same thing? See how we've got like these patterns that we're topping? Is it going to shoot out the same way? Are we going to get... It's the same thing like with Bitcoin even. It's shooting... Is it going to finish shooting out? It tried to. The question is here now, are we turning into reversals? Or is this just another hold here, and then it's just going to continue on? Because one could argue a small inverse head and shoulders there on Bitcoin as well. Can you see it? Can you guys see it? Out of curiosity, there is an argument to be made that it put a small inverse head and shoulders here. Now, if it plays out, it plays out. If it doesn't, you know, it could be the start of a topping reversal. That's why we're trying to figure out, is this a small inversion to finish off this push? Or are we going to start coming down here and start retesting lower targets? I don't know. I personally think until it rolls over, you know, you can be optimistic. And that's why I keep saying, unless it plays out to the wrong way. But that's a nice V-shaped recovery by Bitcoin. Now, is it going to play out properly? Who the heck knows? But it's fun watching it in real time. It is fun watching it in real time. But I would love to see the market hold here and just take off one more day. I would. But we're getting close. We're getting close to where we can have a correct. But we did have correction today. We did have correction. Like when I'm looking at it, we did have correction. Ethereum came down to 3,207 after being up at 3,000. That's 250 points it corrected, or 250 bucks. So that's a pretty big correction. You know, Bitcoin had a pretty big correction as well earlier. It went from 90,000 all the way to 86,000 or 85,228. That's a 5,000 point swing on Bitcoin, 5,000 bucks in one day, 5.3%. So, and it looks like Bitcoin also has a small bull flag here. On a V-shaped recovery, like I'm not one to go short here, but I'm one who will put in a position that if it's a reversing on me, I'm going to know right away. I'm going to know right away. So, obviously, I can't see the comments. It's probably shadow banning the comments. I can't imagine with over 100 people here, nobody's commenting. So, let me go into my phone. And this happens a lot now, I noticed. They don't let me see the comments. But yeah, there's a ton of comments. I just couldn't see them. CoinGlass has a beautiful heat liquidity map. Nice like XRP heat map on CoinGlass. Ooh, let's take a look at this. Thank you for that information. Oops. XRP heat map on CoinGlass. Funding rates, yada, yada, yada. Oh, wait a minute. I need to do the XRP liquidation heat map. Let's see what it says for Bitcoin. They asked for Sherman?
Yeah,
Aw.
Sherman, because they're going, he's trying to get...
Well, here's some of the... Oh, that's interesting.
Well, they didn't say that. I did.
Alright, yeah, so these are nice. I'll have to mess with these off of the air so that I don't... But yeah, I'll take a look at some of those when I'm not on the air. But look, we are starting to correct here a little bit, so this is the moment. That's what I was saying. This is kind of an interesting moment. If we can hold the liquidity here and not fall out, we're going to have a nice explosive move here again. But if we can't push this liquidity, it could be interesting. So we're going to see, are we going to coil up here, or are we going to kind of roll over here a little bit? It's the question. It's the big question. The market's very, very bullish, though, right now. It's just after such big moves, there's always time for a little consolidation. It's just a matter of when. XRP just had a magnificent move. And like for anybody wondering, XRP's moved 46% from the bottom already. So some people say XRP never moves, but like even if it's sold off, you're up 45% right now. So you could theoretically take your gains. And if you were, you know, inclined enough to think that it's just over, you could certainly take your gains and run away. You know, I'm not liking the signs right now out of Bitcoin and Ethereum. They're kind of rolling over a little bit. I still like what the market's showing. I just don't want to see Bitcoin and Ethereum roll over here. I would like to see it maybe dump off a little bit and then eat it up real quick. Because we're kind of in, I like to call these like the neutral zones. To me, this is like a neutral zone. So it's where chaos can happen. It's not always the chaos you expect, though, which is the problem. Because a lot of people, I think, are only looking up right now, and I could totally see a case for both. This is why I had it on 5x, so I could kind of withstand a little bit of this noise right now and keep my. I didn't want to have a big loss on this. That was the point. I didn't want to have a big loss. But I don't know. We'll see if it carries through, if this is kind of building up a liquidity hit so that it can push up again. Let's, I want to take one quick look here on the XRP. Hold on, let me go into here. I want to go back into here. Nope, not this. At least it's saved. I need to go into the one that I had. So let's see where the long versus shorts are right now. It's starting to tighten up a little bit. Right now in the 5 minute to 30, the 1 hour, the long to short ratio is 66.7% going long, 33.26% going short. And then 4 hourly, we have 2.04 to 1, 67.1% going long and 32.8% going short. The 1 day is 2.26 to 1, 69.33% going long still, and 30.68% going short. Our liquidations right now, shorts are getting obliterated, I can already tell you. But actually, because of what happened earlier, though, look at this. We had 14.3 million in liquidations and longs in the last 24 hours. 6.6 in shorts. You would think it's the other way, but so many people were probably going long as XRP started to rally last night. And they bought in after that 10-15% move, and then they got liquidated on the 10% pullback just to see it right back where it was at when they got, and above where they got liquidated. If they were a leverage trader. Funding rates are still positive. Open interest right now is up 27.83% to 905 million. That's excellent. We could definitely see the open interest spiking big time in the last couple of days before this rally, and it was giving us cause for excitement. But remember, folks, when you're doing stuff and you see like, oh my God, this is so easy. This is so easy. It's so easy. Look, it's so easy. We just plucked out this. We plucked out that. Remember, easy come, easy go. Easy come, easy go. So, right, Julie? Easy come, easy go. We got to see, though, because these patterns are still set up. But we can see this bearish cross in the 45. But that would be more of a fake out signal if these actual higher flags play out a little bit. It almost would be quite surprising if it came down and all of these charts made this bounce and then they didn't rotate back up a little bit. It would be a little surprising. Not XRP, because XRP's done a phenomenal job. It's doing something that some of the other ones haven't today. So you can see it's flown out of that potential that we're talking about. Some of these other ones, because XRP did its down here, and it pulled back to 60.6, probably while everybody was sleeping, yeah. And then it rolled back up. Nice bull flag this morning. I remember talking about that. So I'd be a bit surprised with some of these. Like, is Ethereum going to give that inverse head and shoulders back so quickly? It might. Is Bitcoin going to give back that little flag that it created? It might. But it hasn't yet. It's actually done a nice consolidation. But remember what we started with. Inverse head and shoulders on Bitcoin at the top. And we're fine as long as it holds this part down here at about 87. Doesn't even need to come all the way down there. But as long as it holds the integrity of this structure, it's fine. Nice V shape. We're still on top of the third breakout line on the handle consolidation. So it's pretty interesting here. It is pretty interesting. CoinGlass, greater liquidations, greater liquidity heat map. Wait a minute, what? He gave what? CoinGlass has a beautiful heat liquidity map. Nice, like CoinEx XRP heat map on CoinGlass. You have to find it in the left-hand corner. Oh, you guys are talking about... You gave 167 at Tom. What do you mean I gave 167? I don't know. What did I give 167?
I don't know.
I'm confused. See, I hate when I can't see my comments on my tablet.
Comment? Just turned on my computer. And now it's saying, welcome. You're almost done setting up your computer.
What do you mean? It reset? Did Scarlett reset it?
Nobody's been on it but me since yesterday.
Can we all just wake up to financial freedom and quit our jobs? Oh, I have 167 viewers. I think I had 198 now. 198 now. I see what you're saying. I'm just glad we're all watching it together. See, I always say I wish this amount of viewers would come when we're in the consolidation zone. We had 86 24 hours before we had the first 16% push. And I remember in the live I said, it's awesome to see the 86 people, but once it breaks out, there'll be 200 at least. And it never fails. But now we're at this inflection point. Like, this is, in my opinion, the most dangerous point if you're not already in a position. And I'm not talking about leverage, because leverage comes and goes. That doesn't even blimp the radar for anybody who's a spot trader. I mean, a real spot position here. Like, if you weren't an XRP before, and now you watch it go up 45%, you might be sitting here going, oh my God, I missed it. And you know what? Honestly, think about the difference from buying XRP at 48 cents. 10,000 shares is 4,800 bucks. Now it's going to cost you 23 cents on the dollar more. That's 2,300 bucks. So, you know, there's a bunch of ways to look at this. But the only real way to understand it is when you actually are watching it day after day after day, and you don't do anything, and you just sit there, and you're looking for a fairy tale number that nobody can possibly predict to buy in, and you're not even in a fundamental zone. You're hoping and wishing or we're praying, and then when the run actually happens, we're like, oh man, now it's at 71 cents. Now, everybody who didn't want to buy it when I told them I was adding more at 38 cents, when we did the XRP Bitcoin pairing, when I added $5,000 worth and traded that out until it was about to collapse, that was an opportunity for everybody. That was a moment at 38 cents where everybody could have gotten in. And I told everybody, you're going to have an opportunity to sell it at a 1x if you're just patient here. And that's only been a few months. And you do. Now everybody who bought it, even if you bought it with me at 34 cents, because my average is around 34.5 cents. The ones I bought at 38 was for the XRP Bitcoin pairing. Yeah, sure, a couple thousand found its way into the wallet. XRP more into the cold wallet just because. But the majority of that was sold when we made that 40% move in the pairing, because that's what it was for. Now, man, see, Bitcoin still makes me feel like this is going to play up. It feels like it's going to play up to me. I can't help it. I'm giving this market the chance to do what it wants. But when we start looking at this, like XRP's market cap's up to 40.44 billion. 40.44 billion now. Dollars, as we can see, is up about 10%, but last night it had a huge run up. It was up to 43.6 cents at some point. You know, you knew it was going to correct, and it had a mild one, or a massive one, actually. But that's what you want to see. A 22% pullback, and now it's already corrected by half of 11%. That's what you want to see, though. If you want to see continuation, you got to have these huge pullbacks. You've got to liquidate the audience. You have to. You just have to. Dominance going up. Yeah, it's up 1.62%. No, I think we're okay. We'll probably be okay here. As far as the dominance, let's see. They always have these small spikes. But there's still a lot of room in the... We'll see. Still looks like a lot of room in the RSI, though. Yeah, that looks like ass. Honestly. Sell volume's increasing. It looks like. Hopefully that continues playing down. That doesn't look good. That looks like a gigantic bear flag formed, honestly. That's a massive flag. This could be a huge indicator about alt season around the... Like, I know we started big, but boom. Even if you go from here, maybe this is the indicator for alt season here. Imagine this plays down, let's just say, and it breaks down eventually. It goes, and then it breaks down. We'll call it right there. Yeah, that would be huge. And that's just the smaller part of the extended flag. Let's see. Let's put a short-term area right here to see if it actually comes down there. If you're watching in this live, you know why we have it. I'll change the color to a color we've never used. This color. I always see it, but I never use it. So, yeah, we'll see. How big of a drop would that be in USDT, by the way? 18.7%. Very interesting. I don't know if it's going to fall that far, but if that actually played out truthfully. But you could see how we could get an continuation in the market. It just, I don't know. It doesn't feel like it's... It almost feels like it's setting us up for the next step. Like, remember, a lot of the market was down 7 to 10%. XRP might not have been down 7% like the rest, but it still had that same 7 to 10% drop. Doge had a 20% drop, as we've seen. Actually, XRP might have been even bigger, too, than 10 or 7%. It had a massive... If you look at what we did today, we cleared out all that liquidity. That's why the short liquidations are higher than the long for XRP. You know how hard that is to do? When you have a constant up like this, besides that liquidation strike. So when it did this right here, XRP came down 13%. Hey, we got our first dollar donation. I was going to say, I'm going through this, and I'm like, on days like today, I would hope more people would have joined Tom's army or something. But, you know, what can I say? As long as you're hitting the like button, 142 people, 209, you know, or, you know, what are you going to do? Let's see. Crypto Bob, thank you for the $2. Keep calm and carry on. Always a pleasure, buddy. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. In my TA, we got wave 5 push up from this trend line. Turn support hopefully will extend with the FOMO. Yep. I mean, it's looking like it. The wave 5 push up, if we can hold the consolidation we've been talking about since the start of here, it would definitely play into that. It would definitely play into that. And like for Bitcoin, it's holding a very key support structure as of right now. And it, to me, looks like it's creating some kind of inverse head and shoulders, unless it turns into just a reversal. But it's it's either teasing the market here, or it's setting up the market in a bear trap right now, because this looks like an inverse arm, inverse head, inverse right arm forming. If it pulls around, you'll see a truant watch. If this were to pull around, you would absolutely see an inverse head and shoulders formed right in front of your very eyes. Just look at this. Boom, boom. And then as it pulls around, I mean, you would be able to see it and you'd be like, well, how did we not see that inverse head and shoulders? Because most people would be looking at the topping reversal or the Bart Simpson top that's playing out, right? So That's how we would miss that. So if this is meant to be a breakout from here, it's well disguised too for the average trader, because the average trader is looking at M-topping reversals across the market, when in fact it looks like nothing more than it ended up having a nice V-shaped recovery, and now we'll see if it can get the carry through. That's the hardest part. Is it going to follow through with the setup? Because it's got a multi-setup here, but one part of this setup is that inverse setup on the top on Bitcoin. And if that's the case, we're probably going to go to the mid-90s in a very short term. That's why it would be so awesome if it made that move. It almost seems right that Bitcoin, Ethereum are off in this 24-hour segment, and a lot of the market's green. Typically when that happens, in the next cycle, you might get a pullback on some of the green, and then the ones that are a little red might start off a little hotter. The ones that already had the pullback, but it's always impossible. You never can quite tell in these situations how it's exactly going to play out. All I know is it's exciting as hell. Right, Julie? Julie's so excited she can't even answer. We're looking at a very strong XRP. It's dominating the upper cap market. It sure is. The Trump pump will go down in history. Oh, for sure. And the fact that there's already been a meeting, and it wasn't just Trump who said they're building a Bitcoin reserve in the USA. I don't necessarily like the idea. I think we should be building an actual gold and silver, especially silver reserve, because I don't believe we have any gold in the USA. They can say what they want. But the fact we're going to do that, that's going to make the price go up exponentially. I told everybody for years, we're so early, it just doesn't seem like it. And you know what the biggest criticism I've gotten is? From people in the comments, and you guys should go through and read them because I don't want to point anybody out. XRP only up to 70 cents, even though Bitcoin's at 80,000, 90,000 now. XRP, it's like, guys, XRP might only be, in your opinion, only, but this is where being emotional and not understanding exactly what the heck is actually going on. You could have bought in November, and we're not even 2 weeks into November, mind you. All the way to November 3rd, you could have bought XRP roughly at 48.5 cents. Remember that. That's only 9 days. These people will say XRP sucks. If I told you in 9 days by buying, I don't know, $3,000 worth of XRP, that 9 days later, that money's going to be worth about $1,500 more, and you have $4,400 roughly in your account, what would you say? Because all these people that are talking trash, and that's why we are positivity over negativity. That's why we are the light and not the darkness. Because when you instill the darkness, you end up missing opportunity. Because you're always speaking with that emotional, hateful, biased, like nothing is ever good enough. So now for anybody, you're telling me in 9 days, this was the single easiest pump I've had to call in years. How do you think I could have been so spot on with this? How do you think even with copy traders, I was able to make 145%? It was easy to see. Not the volatility to keep, because a lot of leverage traders got liquidated too along the way. I had one trade that got liquidated, even being up 145%. There's such volatile swings. The spot part of it, though, was no doubt, no brainer. Zero. And because we're skeptics and I think a lot of people have a good time seeing people that are trying to enjoy something. I'm serious. And they would rather keep collapsing and going down because then they can say, I told you so. Instead of trying to get on board with a way to better themselves. You know, and my simple comment to the ones who are always like that is, your emotions got the best of you and you missed a sure thing. A sure thing. It's not a good way to make bank. You know, it's really not. I've had one of my biggest weeks of the year. Probably the biggest week. You know, I made $3,700 in profit. If all of this goes to garbage and all of my stuff stops out, I would have about $3,520 from this little cycle so far. Not counting my spot XRP, not counting my spot XRPH or my spot XLM. It doesn't count my spot. This is only on the swing trading we've done. And I don't do it at high stakes on the copy trading. That's just enough for us to enjoy some fun. I have $170 on there all the time, and if it goes over, I take it off. And I've gotten to fortunately take off $289. But we can build something really cool if we just stay focused and we keep the love and not the hate. Positivity over negativity. Because with all the darkness, the light always shines through it. Always shines through it. And it always predicts what's going to happen. You know, it makes... It's just when you... It's the reason why I always say consistency will breed the response. By being consistent, we knew this was going to happen. And even if it went down before this came up, didn't we already have a setup for if it went a little bit farther down, if we had the 20% dump off? We already said we'll get more cash to the side and we'll pile on before the run-up happens. But make no mistake about it, this is well on its way. That inverse head and shoulders is playing out. A 6.5 year plus, almost 7 year consolidation has broken out. Like, there's so much stuff here that it's super bullish. It's the best I can say is it's super bullish, unless it breaks down the barriers, which we are so far away from that right now. We've got, let's see the best chart here. Been doing a lot of talking, but the best chart to emphasize what I'm talking about. This is the cup and handle. This is the cup and handle. And we never broke down out of it, except the one time we tapped the falling channel. But we bounced right back in it. It was almost immediate. So this is the right... Here, let me take this away so we don't get confused by arrows. So this is the rising channel. We fell out of it. We lost about 40%. We came all the way down here. This is the 38 cents I'm talking about. That was just back in July. I actually was talking about 48, but you could have bought it at 38 in July. So in 4 months, you would have one bag, basically. You'd be up a one bagger. Just about one bagged. But you see the inverse head and shoulders, massive inverse head and shoulders. Inverse left arm, inverse head, inverse right arm, playing out. Technical target of this play out from this cup and handle is all the way up here at $1.37. That's the technical target on a handle, or the cup and handle, sorry. The cup and handle breakout with this inversion is at $1.18. We have a couple targets before that. We have the USDT chart, as we know, is a consolidation going back to August of 2023. And that breakout target is 90 cents approximately. 91 maybe. But you see the top of the rising channels target's 91 as well, 90.89. So we get on top of this 90.89. Now all of a sudden this comes into play. We're well behind Bitcoin right now. Remember, Bitcoin had a cup and handle, broke out, got on top of the all-time highs, broke up above all of the handle resistance areas, and now the only thing left for Bitcoin is to make that final move. And XRP's got just starting those moves. I mean, literally just starting. And I know it seems like a lot because it's up better than 45% already in the last 4 days. You haven't seen nothing yet if this is actually playing true. You have not seen nothing yet. At $1.20, we can say we've seen something. Or at 90 cents, we can say, okay, maybe the rising channel will kick our ass. But breaking out of the cup and handle, if we get up to 90 cents, I find it hard to believe we're just going to break down. Just like I kept saying last week when Bitcoin looked like it was going to roll over at 77, and then it went to 73, and I said, listen, there's all this liquidity at 77, 78. It's impossible for me to think they're just going to let the shorts get out unscathed. Then there was all the liquidity over the top it grabbed. And then what did it do? It liquidated a very large amount of shorts. Because face it, a lot of them that were down at 64 are gone now because they took their profits. So that $1.2 billion liquidity zone is probably getting smaller. But there's bigger zones that are opening up everywhere now. Everywhere. So... But somebody was talking about in the beginning the heat signal, the XRP heat map. And now that I got everything out, Adam said from 50K to 72,000 portfolio, insane, man. I love you. I'm glad I held and didn't try to trade my spot bag. Me too, Adam. Me too. That's a healthy gain of 22,000. Excellent. Excellent. It should consolidate at this level. Then we want to rush pump to 85, and then it's pulling back. Yeah, I'm waiting for that 20% pullback as well, but it feels like you're saying, it's probably going to come from the next push up. So, but we'll see. So I said, pay attention to what I showed with Ethereum. Pay attention to what I'm showing with Bitcoin. If those inverse head and shoulders break down, those are your two key signals that the market is starting to you know, it could be ready for a little correction. And some could say that Bitcoin's ready to reverse for alt season, but it's not true. Bitcoin hasn't played the technical move. So the reason we knew we were coming up here is because of the technical setup. Well, the technical setup hasn't fully exhausted itself. The actual handle move is finished, but the cup now hasn't finished. All of the handle moves have finished. So that's exhausted. Now we need to finish the move, the depth of the cup on Bitcoin, and that's where you get the majestic move up to 120,000 roughly. So I'm just saying, if you thought last year was big, or if you thought 21 was big, I don't think a lot of people understand what it means that the USA's flipping digital. I don't think you understand why President Trump was elected by the central banks for the USA. We don't play as big of a role as we think, but I'm gonna try to thin line here. They're ready to switch us to turn us into a digital system now. We're ready to go digital in the USA. That's why they're talking the Bitcoin reserve. That's why they're doing all this stuff. You think it's any coincidence that Elon Musk just got much, much richer by Dogecoin's move? You think it's any coincidence why I tell you guys to have the exposure I have to Dogecoin? I bought it at 5 cents. We had it before at 0.0000 something. We sold it on Saturday Night Live. Not a lot back then. But that 5 cent buy has now turned, you know, $500 for over 10,000 tokens has now turned in to over $3,800. So 1x, 2x, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's like an 800% return right now, roughly. And I bought it at the same time as XRP because they were both in the same cycle. And that return is much greater than XRP's right now. But that's why you shouldn't be just holding one thing if you can afford it. Don't think because you hold XRP you can't have anything else. It's not how it works. I think a lot of people forget that. What can I say? I take Tom's TA and make money. Maybe the little guy could get a new toy to make him smile. Much love. Hey, XRP Goat, I really appreciate that. I wish more people shared your mindset of the pay it forward. You know? Speaks volumes on a day like today, huh? I really appreciate that. I really, really appreciate that. And oh yeah, he's going to get a new toy. Definitely. He'll appreciate it. See, like I always say, it's not about the monetary donation for me. I do just fine trading and doing my own stuff. I look at it as a sign of respect and hey, you spend all your time here, you know, and here's the pay it forward moment. Not today, it doesn't have. I'm just saying in the future and maybe never, but I like the pay it forward mentality. So yeah, I mean, we're basically in limbo right now as we wait for the close at 7. I wouldn't expect anything to happen real quick here until after 7. I think we're just kind of floating around. I still want to see if these inverse patterns play out for Bitcoin. And I know I keep talking about Bitcoin and Ethereum, but they really are holding the cards right now. They really are holding the cards right now. And it's not in the daily, it's holding the cards because the daily doesn't look awful. It's right here when you break it into the 1 hour even. Looks like a small bull flag here. Looks like an inverse head and shoulders is formed in front of us with a V-shaped recovery. A wider bull flag from farther back that looks to be breaking out here in a sense. So, I mean, it feels like it wanted to fake us out and it could still go up in a big way. Like, I feel like somebody who was talking earlier is on the same page as what I can see in the charts here. It just might not play out. Even they acknowledged it. It looks like it wants to have another surge up and then a massive pullback. Like, I could see if we had one more 10 to 15% move market wide and then about a 25% pullback. That's what I'm looking for, that inflection point. I just don't think it's yet. I think they're setting up inverse head and shoulders all around for a reason. Now, that could be, remember what I always say, that could be the stigma to get us from thinking that the market's going to drop at this exact spot. But if you're not on leverage and you're holding a spot position and you've been for a while and this is your moment in the sun, don't be worried. I'm not worried. And a lot of people are like, Tom, you're going to sell your XRP. Don't ask me here. I'm not selling it at 70. I didn't sell it at $1.70 or $1.68 in the last bull market on the way down to buy it back at 34 to sell it at 71. No. In fact, I was encouraging XRP to come back down to under 40 cents so I could buy a little bit more, and it did once. And I tried to encourage it again a second time, but it didn't work. I made a lot of money on XRP this year. Not even my long bag that I hold. The swing bag that I started, and then it just... things happened. Things spiraled. Let's just say this year spiraled, and I made the most I ever have in crypto. Put that in perspective. We haven't even had a bull market yet. In perspective. I made more in 24 than I did in 21. And it's actually quite unbelievable. Because what does that mean when the real bull market starts for my altcoins? Oh boy. And I'm not talking about what my XRP positions, and I'm talking about what I've actually realized P&L. Realized we were up 20. I was up 22,000 in 2023 in crypto. 24 surpassed that. 21 I was up about 12,000, but I had a much smaller portfolio. And I didn't know how to trade as good in the swing trading mindset. Or leverage, I wasn't even very good at all. So, it's all about perspective. It's all about opportunity. So, a lot of times when you see people in the comments and they say there's no money to be made, it makes me sick a little bit, because it's like, if there's no money to be made, I'm making hand over fist here. As far as when we get into cycles, and then I tell everybody, I'm not doing much trading, and I said that for about a month and a half when the cycle was slow. I like to do it when it picks up and it gives you an opportunity. Generally, on a pullback. That's why with Ethereum, I thought it was an opportunity when it was down about $100, and it started to create a possible inverse head and shoulders. Hey, if I'm going to take a chance here, yeah, I see a bear flag that can play out as well. Definitely. That's why I'm saying, if that plays down, that $22 risk on my side is going to allow me to stay ahead of the market too. I'm going to know what's coming next. And I'm going to know because I'm going to see a stop loss alert. But when I'm comfortable with the market, I'll be at 10x. That's all. If you're copy trading me, if you see me opening up at 5x, I'm not as confident. If it's a 10x, I'm more confident that the market's going to do what I think. At 5x, I'm trying to cut costs down on the stop loss if it comes down. Earlier, it worked out for us on XLM. It gave us 18 quick percent. 30% on one of them for Ethereum. Ethereum cost us about $11 on one. The one that hit me the hardest was the AAVE. As XRP was doing its mojo and making me all that money, AV decided it was going to reverse course on everything, and then it actually front ran the market, and I was sleeping, so I didn't think I needed a stop loss, and it cost me like $120 on liquidation on that. Fortunately, I made, the same day I lost that 120, I made $180 in the copy trading before that, then lost that liquidation, then made 280 something on XRPs. So so it was an interesting day. So nobody's exempt from the liquidation, not even me. And I like to be very transparent because you need to know that stuff. Yeah, I might be up 145% since I started, but that doesn't come without the pain. It's easily disguised because I've made better trades than not, but that doesn't mean there wasn't pain at the pump, folks. You think I was happy when I seen that after having such a big day that I got liquidated on that one position? No, I was not. That was the only mistake I made in the entire friggin' week. But it's okay. You're allowed to make a mistake. As long as your solutions are making up for it. You know, your body of work. That's why I always say, you can't determine what you're doing on one trade when you're doing it yourself. It's over a body of work. So if you make a mistake, you're like, damn it. What did I do wrong? And when I looked at it, I know exactly what I did wrong. I had hopium. I didn't put the stop loss in where I should have, and it would have maximized my loss at $57 instead of $120. So that's on myself. So what did I do today? I had the mindset of, I'm going to try to take a few opportunities if they're there. And so far, so good. And even if I give this back, I still made more on those opportunities than this $22 will cost me. So I like this position. Like, when most people are scared, I'm like, oh, baby. That's why I'm afraid to do copy trading sometimes, because my risk tolerance is so high. I'm very good at sports betting. I've hit 4 out of my last 5 sports bets. I'm in an analytical mindset right now. When I get like this, it's scary. Julie knows I can turn 100 into 1,000 very quickly. And like last night, a $50 bet turned into 360. And I just do, the analytical side, player bets or team bet, depending on, parlays. I always do parlays. The Lions, I had a $50 hit for 400. I just missed one in the same game, hit for 300 by 1 yard. The The day before that, I hit a 5-team college football parlay, and then I hit my parlay during the Michigan game. So, you know, and that comes with pain. But I like things from an analytical approach. So I do my life in analytics. I really do. Like, if we were in the Matrix, I could believe it, because everything I do, I can see it in my brain. Like, yeah, you see the Matrix background, I can see it. You guys, bye.
Bye.
I won't see you until, oh yeah, Thursday this week, not next week, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh no, that's the week after. Okay. So we're still normal for the next week. So I hope that makes a little bit of sense. Like, hope that makes a little bit of sense. I always try to share a little bit of myself during these lives that you won't get during the updates. And I always try to put it to the back end. And we're 55 minutes in, so I thought it was an appropriate time. Let's see. XRP GOAT, you need a Siggy. Will I still be here in 5 minutes? Probably in 5 minutes. I'll probably still be here in 5, but, you know, I definitely got to do some winding down here. My son's going to be going to bed soon. He's got school in the morning. He's got his therapy right after school. He's got a busy week every week with his therapies and stuff, so. But I'm just, honestly, all I'm doing right now is I'm watching for the moment where either we have these inversions break down or we can let them play out. The longer they stay intact with this volatile up and down, the better. I always siphon through the market and see. And right now we're kind of stuck in limbo here. We're really stuck in limbo here. At least for right now. IOTA's flipped back into the positive, which is interesting, right before the end of the close. See, and this is what I'm looking at. See how IOTA pulled around? This is what it looks like a lot of the market wants to end up eventually doing here. IOTA's starting to pull up now. See, IOTX it's so undecided. That's what I'm saying. Is the market going to do a similar thing like H-bar did, or was H-bar kind of the setup? And H-bar's come down like 15%, so, but it's got a nice maybe flag here still. Actually, kind of looks like it. It'll probably have to come down here at the, man, oh man. But it did that exact same thing, and then it just created the push through. XRP created the push through. A couple of these other ones created the push through. But XRP's was a little bit different. And then it came way down. But that's where we're left here. I'm very excited to see how this plays out. Don't fear the market, but always take this as a lesson right now. You always want to front run the move, because now if you're not in it, how difficult is it when XRP's gone up 45% to say, well, now where do I buy my spot? Because now it's never going to feel good enough, because even if you get in and you get a 5% move, you're going to say, oh, big deal. But when the rest of the ones who are in from the beginning are up 50% on the same time frame, you just happen to catch the last pitiful percentage, you know, and that's what happens to a lot of us. But ladies and gentlemen, before I leave, and I'm going to do this quick because I'm going to have to go because we have school and stuff in the morning. I want to do the sun. Even though it's not dark and gloomy, it's actually very happening right now. I want to still do it. Ladies and gentlemen, when things don't seem right, or when things are greatly overly exciting, we bring back a very famous person here. And you know what it is. I know what time it is. Do you know what time it is? Ladies and gentlemen, the sun. Sunny days are here again. Oh, sunny days. Oh, what a day. Oh, sunny days. Oh, what a day. I wear glasses 'cause I can't see a motherfucking thing. Happy days. Oh, happy days. Oh, what a day. Oh, happy days. Oh, what a day. XRP will reign supreme. Let's just not get caught in the FUD. Oh, we're gonna crash, and we did, and we will, and we won't, and we did, and we won't, and we will. Oh, yeah. Stay true. Stay blessed. Find the pumps before they start. Getting in now is a bitch. Sorry. That's it. That's what we got. But he's pretty happy today. Look at him. Got a stogie. That's a victory cigar. He says, Damn it, I'm so sick of getting criticized. He says, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of getting criticized. I'm the XRP son. Oh, it actually might be Pinocchio. I didn't think about that. That could be Pinocchio lying again. Like XRP's lying to us and it's about to fall. And he's just like, here we go. Here we go. So what is that? Is this the people? So is this the people down here? Is he really stomping on the people? Or he wouldn't do that. XRP wouldn't do that to the people. No, no, no. The people are going to rise with XRP, not fall. So have a blessed evening, everybody. It's an exciting live. It's 7 o'clock. We'll see how this shifts out for the... You didn't think I was just going to leave right at 7. I had to sing the sun to get some of the weak hands out. The weak hands, I tell you. The ones that aren't going to subscribe to the channel or share the channel or even like the channel for that matter. Now we can get the business. Now we can get the business. See if there's any news. See if there's any news. XRP and ADA ETF filings. So in a recent X post, Nate Geraci, co-founder of the Exchange Traded Fund Institute, made a prediction according to which several cryptocurrency ETF filings are going to be filed this week in the US. Oh God, if there's another one for XRP, there's another catalyst for this. This is all just getting this is too good. These ETF products are anticipated to focus on altcoins such as XRP, Solana, Cardano. Geraci believes there is no downside for exchange-traded fund issuers to getting aggressive. As reported by You Today, SEC Chair Gary Gensler is expected to resign soon. Well, we knew that. We knew he was going to resign after this. With Dan Gallagher, Robinhood's top lawyer, being a... Oh, God. See, that's... If he hadn't... Might as well just keep Gensler in there. If Robinhood's top lawyer is in there, you might as well just keep Gensler in there. It's all a hook and ladder. Under Gensler's leadership, the SEC approved various Bitcoin ETF products. That's really who the front runner is. Robinhood's lawyer, Dan Gallagher. One of the great scumbags of our time. Oh, yeah, never mind. I don't want to get in trouble. SEC approved various Bitcoin ETF products despite facing criticism from the cryptocurrency community. Notably, Gensler also recently approved spot Ethereum ETFs, and filings for ETFs targeting other altcoins such as Solana and XRP have already begun. Well, I can't say that I'm happy about who they're going to actually put in there next. But all right, that's what I got, everybody. I'm going to go spend some time with Julie. Have a blessed evening. XRP's right at about 41.